Because on Eyewitness News, we're as different as the city we report to.
Raj, please, don't forget to smile tonight.
I am smiling.
The People's Court, today at 4:30.
Nicole, this just came over the wires. You want to use this?
Changes in the tax laws. Yes, I'd better. It's unpleasant news, but it's informative.
And I have another little news item for you, only this one on the more personal side.
Oh?
Yes, you won't be pestered by the big boss today. Schuyler called and said he wouldn't be in.
He's not sick, is he?
No, he just has some other business to attend to.
Well, that's good.
Well, I thought that news would send you dancing into the streets. It doesn't seem to make you look any happier, does it?
Oh, Geraldine. I have to admit that there's really only one problem on my mind these days, and everything else seems rather pale and uninteresting by comparison.
Now, please, don't tell me you're concerned about that dreadful woman, Nora Fulton.
She's ever present, I'm afraid.
Well, what can be done about her?
Not much, unless she does something illegal. Or rather, something illegal that we can prove.
What possesses her, anyway?
I wish I knew.
Now, see here. You swore you were going to ignore Nora Fulton and her vicious gossip. You don't seem to be having much luck, do you?
Actually, it's not Nora I'm so worried about. It's Miles.
What about him?
Well, he's been putting on an act. He's trying to make everyone believe that he's made of iron, but he's not. He's trying so hard to be nonchalant, but I know him. Underneath it all, he's tormented, and it's coming out in all sorts of unpleasant ways.
Like what?
Well, it's obvious that he's brooding all the time, and he has a very short fuse. He flares up in these terrible tempers.
That doesn't sound like the Miles Cavanaugh I know.
It isn't. That's why it's so hard to take. And he's been drinking. Miles drinks very badly. He's always had a very low tolerance for alcohol. That's why he's always been such a moderate drinker. But now, thanks to Nora Fulton and some other people, he's not in a very moderate mood.
All right, Billy, these are the active files. The inactive files are down in the storage room in the basement, and the key to that room is in the left-hand drawer of your desk, and it's marked, all right?
Yes, Doctor.
What else? Oh, the appointment book is right here. You see, these are the office hours usually every day except for Thursday, all right? Try to keep between 12 and 1 open for lunch, if possible. You see, I do my hospital rounds real early in the morning.
Yeah, you have evening hours, I see.
Yes, they haven't been too busy lately. I may change that schedule.
Oh. Do you have a list of favored colleagues, radiologists, specialists?
Yes, right. Just a minute. It's in this little address book right here, names and numbers.
Thank you.
Look, Billy, I don't mean to offend you, but I wonder if you'd mind when you come to the office not to wear jewelry that makes quite so much noise, and really this doesn't quite go with the uniform.
Oh.
What's the matter? You afraid I'm going to rape you?
Oh, no, Dr. Cavanaugh, of course not.
You've heard the stories, though, haven't you? My reputation seems to be preceding me now.
Well, I didn't believe those stories,
Oh, really?
honestly.
Well, then stop looking so frightened. Get out there by your telephone. I'm expecting to have some appointments canceled today.
Yes, sir.
The Edge of Night is brought to you by Tide. The extra action in Tide means dirt can't hide. And by new Lemon Fresh Joy, for a beautiful shine without towel drying.
What a joy our dishes really shine.
Without towel drying.
All this and smelled lemony, too.
Dishes shine, really shine.
And we don't have to dry.
All this, and lemony, too.
Before we discovered new Lemon Fresh Joy, I used to dry.
Because with other leading brands, we'd usually get dirty-looking spots.
Not with new Joy.
Because it cleans dishes so they're practically spot-free.
Without a towel.
Fact is, other leading brands can dry leaving spots. New Joy's unique anti-spotting formula lets dishes dry practically spot-free, down to the shine.
It's a new way to shine. What a joy.
Without a towel.
Try new Lemon Fresh Joy for a beautiful shine, without a towel.
14, 34, height. How far do we moms have to go to see our team clean? All the way to High Country.
Where 11 boys of our home team defend a field of muddy green. They're fumbling all around, can't seem to get a touchdown.
And an extra action team needs an extra action tie.
Mom, she knows the score.
My tie tackled this mess before.
So go ahead and sledge them, splatter them, splotch them, claim your spot. Tide gets it clean. Tide's America's favorite. From cocoa to mud, Tide will tough clean it. You've just seen it. Now here's that winning side. Same clothes, same team, red, white, and clean with extra action Tide.
High Country!
Claim your spot, Tide gets it clean.
Okay, guys. Oh, not bad. Sid! Hi! I did it! I did. I can't believe I did it, but I did it.
You did what?
Sid, I got out of that couch, and I walked right over here, and I answered the door without my cane.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Under your own steam?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. You see, I told you you'd be running around the park in no time.
Oh, I can't believe that something so stupid as answering the door is becoming a major accomplishment.
Oh, honey, after what you've been through, it is, believe me. Hey, I brought you some of Francesco's minestrone. He calls it Italian penicillin.
Oh, great. Well, good to see you. Take a seat. You want some coffee or something?
No, thanks. I want to talk. So, why don't you get off that bum leg of yours so we can zero in on the subject matter?
Oh, hey. I'm concentrating.
Okay. Hey, try to stay with me now, if you will. But first of all, I want to tell you how happy I am to see you on the mend like this. You look like a million. And that is especially important because of what I came to talk to you about.
Well, you sure got my curiosity going.
Well, to start with, I don't know how much you know about Eddie and Troy Bannister. Do you know what's been going on there?
Yeah, I mean, Dee Dee has been really upset these past couple of weeks, and, well, she's been filling me in on everything.
Well, she must be feeling real good about it right now, right?
Oh, Sid, she is so happy. I mean, she was so excited she couldn't wait to tell Troy the wonderful news. I mean, she just was zipping right out of here. And to think it was Mr. Lorimer who helped exonerate Troy, that nice little man.
Yeah, he's not a little man anymore, honey. He's a great big guy in my books. But the whole thing is that this situation, well, it's presented a few problems to Eddie.
Well, I don't know why it should. I mean, Mr. Lorimer's practically a hero.
Yeah, I know, but, well, he's got the notion that because he had to spill the truth to the cops, you know, about his affiliation with those crooks, well, that it's going to dirty his reputation. And in his mind, that follows that it will hurt business at the tavern.
Yeah, I see.
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe he's right, maybe he's wrong. I don't know. But anyway, he's got that in his head, and no matter what I say or do, I can't change his mind. So the point is that, well, honey, Eddie's going to leave the tavern, and he's also going to move out of town.
Say, that means you're going to be without a partner.
Yeah. Well, in Monticello, anyway.
Well, what in the world is he going to do? I mean, where's he going to go?
Well, he's decided to go to Florida. He wants to look for another place down there.
Well, I think that's awful. I mean, because no matter what Mr. Lorimer has done, the fact is that he did something really nice for Dee Dee and Troy.
Yeah, he's not that bad at all, and he proved it. But, well, there is another development, Mitzi.
What do you mean?
Well, you see, I kind of got it in my mind to go down there and help him get started. I mean, like he says, I know a lot more about the restaurant business than he does. And, well, we made a pretty good team of it here in Monticello, so I figure it's not a bad idea. Besides, I think I'd like to maybe spend the winter in the sunshine.
Sid, you can't leave. Hey, you know, who's going to take care of the tavern? I mean, who's going to run that place while you're gone?
Well, now we get to the real point of things. You know, you told me several times lately that you'd be interested in learning about the restaurant business. You remember that?
Oh, yeah, I remember, but that was just, you know, like an idea, you know, something to think about in the future.
Come on now, stay on track, because here comes the punchline. Mitzi, how would you like the chance to learn the restaurant business by taking over the tavern for a while?
Me?
You.
Oh, no, Sid, I mean, that's absolutely crazy. I mean, I have no qualifications. I have no experience. Sid, I am not smart enough.
Oh, come on, Mitzi, you're not a dummy, so don't give me that. Now, maybe nobody knows it but Cliff and me, but, well, you got a lot more in the back of that head of yours than you ever let on to. So what do you say?
Oh, Sid, how could I? Sid, I can't run a place like that by myself.
Oh, you won't have to worry about that, because Mr. Eddie Lorimer has some ideas about that, too.
You gotta be kidding.
I'm not. So help me.
You're trying to tell me you're serious?
I'm on the level.
I gotta sit down. Let me see if I've got this straight. You want to give me your share in Sid's Tavern?
Now you got it. But listen, I don't want you to think it's going to be a breeze, kid. You're going to work very hard. You got to keep your eyes open to everything, you know. That's the secret of the restaurant business. You can't wind up becoming an absentee owner, you know.
Look, Eddie, okay, that's fine. Look, I know how to sling hash, and I can carry out 4 orders at one time, and I got good feet, but, wow, to run a place like that alone.
You're not going to be alone, I told you. Sid is going to come with me to Florida. She's going to give her share to that kid, Mitzi Martin. You know Mitzi Martin, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Hey, she's a great kid.
She's terrific. The only thing is the kid is a little ditzy around the edges, you know what I mean? So we figured that we need somebody with brains in there to help her run the joint.
What makes you think I've got the brains for something like this?
Hey, come on, you got the smarts. I always said that. The only dumb thing you ever did, kid, was hook up with a bum like me, that's all.
Come on. That wasn't so dumb. You gave me the only real chance in life I ever had, and I'll never forget that.
Hey, let's not talk about it. It's all in the past, okay? Forget it.
Look, I know why you helped me when I got out of jail. It was because of my brother, Al. But whatever the reasons, you gave me opportunities I wouldn't have had otherwise.
Look, kid, I want to be square with us before I leave this town, and this is one way I think I can do that. That is, if you're interested now.
Interested? Who wouldn't be? A little scared, maybe, but Eddie, I love it! Oh, wow, a place of my own. Hey, wait a minute. Are you sure you're going to be all right?
Oof, don't worry about me. I manage. It's not so important where I am. It's who I'm with that counts. But I do have one little problem.
What's that?
What the hell are the wise guys in this town going to say when they find I'm traveling with somebody named Sidney?
There's only one toilet bowl clean enough for my family. That's a bowl that's Vanish clean. And for me, there's only one way to get it. My brush and Crystal Vanish. Crystal Vanish is specially formulated to disinfect. Not all bowl cleaners disinfect. And Vanish kills germs that cause odors, removes tough stains, and cleans completely under the rim. Now that's about as clean as you can get. That's Vanish clean. For my family, it's not clean. Unless it's Vanish clean.
Renews it. Renews it. Renews it. Use it. Open renews it a little or a lot. It all depends on the odors you've got.
Renews it in the closet, open just a touch.
Renews it in the kitchen, open this much. Renews it in the bathroom, open wide.
Helps keep your house smelling fresh and clean inside. Renews it. Renews it. Use it.
And we're priced right.
So what really happened, Derek? Just the way Cameron wanted.
I tell you, I thought our chances would have been 1,000,000 to 1 that Raven would spy on Ian Devereaux for us. But that's exactly what's going to happen.
Well, it's obvious that you and David were much more successful at persuading her than I was. Oh, would you like some coffee?
No, thank you. And listen, don't belittle your own efforts, Nancy. I'm sure it had an effect in the long run.
Well, it is some kind of a magic that's happened, though, because, you know, she was so determined not to have anything to do with Ian Devereaux.
For Raven, there couldn't have been a stronger motivation than to keep Sky Whitney out of prison.
And I think that's what finally turned the tide, Mike. I'll tell you, I didn't pull my punches on that score. I threatened Whitney with imprisonment in no uncertain terms.
Yeah, Yeah, but it's still possible that he might be charged with something, though, isn't it?
I think Cameron's really on his side. We're both almost positive that he was framed by Devereaux.
Devereaux must have thought the feds were breathing down his neck about that phone book sample, so he needed a scapegoat, and fast.
And I think he picked Whitney because, well, Whitney knew Jefferson Brown, the man who had the phone book in the first place. Devereaux had the opportunity to put those papers in the safe, and I think he did it when he visited Whitney when he was sick.
Do you really think, though, that he was that clever that he could open that safe in just a few short minutes?
Nancy, in his profession, he may have learned all kinds of skills, including safe cracking.
Oh, dear. Well, if he is that good, then is Raven going to be able to deceive him?
If she wants Whitney's freedom, she's going to have to.
Got a minute? Duncan Hines got a new idea.
Holiday desserts with American Dash.
With just one pan,
one Duncan Hines mix,
no more than 4 ingredients.
No more than 35 minutes of your time.
You can make one of these dazzling desserts.
Make my snow mountains with the Lux 2 Devils food. Bake in a cupcake pan, split, fill, top, and kiss. Wasn't that easy?
Make my Christmas tree with Swiss chocolate mix baked in a 2-pan. Filled up mint ice cream balls, let chocolate sauce drip down. Wasn't that easy?
Make my fabulous flambe. Bake a deluxe 2 yellow cake, cool, frost with whipped topping, spoon on hot cherry filling, brandy, and flambe. Oh, wasn't that easy? Delicious.
Ethel, you're terrific.
Duncan Hines, desserts with American Dash. In holiday magazines now.
Watch them dash through it.
How does your fabric softener smell?
Ah, nice. Ah, nothing.
Introducing new unscented Bounce.
Unscented Bounce doesn't leave a scent on my clothes. That I love. Regular Bounce gives me the long-lasting freshness I love.
Now there are 2 kinds of Bounce.
Both control static cling, while both leave your clothes soft and fluffy.
Regular or new unscented Bounce for...
Ah, nice.
Or...
Ah, nothing.
I know the jury's out and they are back and you're here to tell me the bad news. What the hell? Let's get it over with.
Troy, the jury is back, but the verdict has been sealed because of new evidence.
What are you talking about?
Eddie Lorimer has corroborated your story. He gave a statement to the police and he told the truth about everything. About you, about him, about Loomis, about Joe Bulmer.
No, I'm dreaming. Lord, please, I don't want to wake up.
You are not dreaming, little brother. You are not dreaming.
Wait a minute, you telling me that low-down, crummy little creep spilled his guts to the cops? Man, he told the truth.
Hey, Troy, is that any way to talk about somebody who just saved your neck? Eddie Lorimer is the most wonderful, kind, considerate, low-down little creep I ever met in my life.
Yeah, you're right. If he was here right now, I'd apologize and shake his hand. But why? I mean, why would he do that for?
Well, immunity, for one thing. But I don't think that's the only reason. I would like to think it was my wonderful powers of persuasion, but I don't think it was that either. I have a hunch it was Sid. But whatever reason, it's not important. The important thing is that the police now are ready to accept that Bulmer and Loomis conspired to get rid of you that night. That's why Loomis was there. Because Bulmer told him you would be at the studio and what you'd be doing there.
It's true, because when Loomis accused me of hurting Jody Travis, that's why I opened the door to show him she was okay.
So, the DA is prepared to accept your plea of self-defense. And I'm sure the court will do the same. So no matter what the jury has decided, you are going to be free. Oh, hey, look, I'd better hurry up and get down to the courthouse and start those wheels turning to get you out of here.
Okay.
Guard!
You know, I am going to have to find a new place to live, huh? Now, the rent here was so reasonable.
Nicole, there is only one possible solution to this problem with Miles, at least for the moment.
What do you suggest?
Well, it seems to me that it is the perfect time for you and your husband to take a vacation. Get away from this town and all the gossip. Just let it die a natural death.
Well, that was my impulse, too, but I'm sure Miles wouldn't go. He'd say it wouldn't work, that people would think we were just running away.
Not to people who matter.
Frankly, that's what I would be doing, running away, and gladly. I'd like to find a nice, quiet cave somewhere.
Well, it's understandable, but it's not quite your style.
What is my style, I'd like to know? Why can't I handle things better than I do? I certainly haven't handled this very masterfully.
My dear girl, we only can handle things as they come. You do what you think is right for the moment. Only hindsight has 20/20. No. I think you're handling this the best way possible, and that's by standing by, Miles, through it all.
Yeah.
Your patient is here, Dr. Kavanaugh. The name is Cooper.
Oh, not again. All right, send her in. Now, you listen to me, Mrs. Cooper. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Good morning. I had your name confused with somebody, a patient of mine. I thought you were...
I know what you thought. I'm the lady's husband, Everett Cooper.
I see. Well, you seem to be a little bit upset. Mr. Cooper, would you care to sit down? Tell me why?
As if you didn't know. Thank you. I don't want to sit down.
Suit yourself. What is it? Has your wife become ill? When she came here the other day to see me, she seemed in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I bet you noticed her shape.
What I meant was that she seemed in control of her complaint.
Well, it's too damn bad. You can't be in control of yourself,
Now, listen,
Doctor.
why don't we just stop this? Why don't you tell me what it is you came here to say?
I know damn well what happened here. A couple of days ago when my wife came in, you were fooling around. You came on to her like some sort of sex-crazed animal.
What?
Don't you try to deny it. It's not the first time you had your filthy hands on her.
In the name of God, where'd you get that kind of an idea?
From my wife, and she doesn't lie, Doctor. She didn't want to tell me about it at first. She came home in tears. But then I convinced her to tell me what really happened.
I'd like to have heard that conversation. I really would.
Well, I've heard all about you, Doctor. The fun and games you have here in your office with your nurses and your patients. You know, you got quite a history of recreation in your office. She told me what you did to her. Now you think you're going to do this with every woman that comes into this office?
Your wife is a liar! If there was any attempt in this office at seduction, it was on the part of your wife, not mine.
Yes, that's exactly what she predicted you say. They all say that, don't you? It's the woman who asks for it.
Here's the door.
Well, you know what you're asking for, pal? Do you know it? Huh? You know what you're asking for? Huh?
Dr. Kavanaugh!
I love the way it looks on me. Stouffer's lean cuisine. Less than 300 calories. Stouffer's lean cuisine. I love the taste, I love what I see. I love being all that I can be. Ooh, I love the way it looks on me, and so does he.
Stouffer's Lean Cuisine. You'll love the way it looks on you.
I love the way it looks on me.
You know, Ann, I had my physical today.
Oh?
Doc says everything's great, and I have a lot to thank you for.
Really?
Really. When I stopped smoking,
Mm-hmm.
when I had to lose those 20 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
cut down on fats and cholesterol,
Mm-hmm.
you made it all so easy.
For years, Dick and Ann have followed a low-fat, low-cholesterol diet, and Fleischmann's margarine has been part of it. Fleischmann's margarine, 100% corn oil, 0% cholesterol.
Ann, you're terrific.
On Ryan's Hope.
Did you actually leave the force last night?
Yes.
Let me help.
You can't. The best thing for you to do is to leave me alone. Please go.
I'm not giving up on this.
Ryan's Hope.
All right, I'm going to head towards the office. I just wanted to bring you both up to date.
I'm glad you did, Derek.
Derek, just one thing about Raven's safety. Now, you can't deny that there is a danger.
We were going to take every precaution for her safety. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be her contact in case she has something to report. I figure that, well, because of our past relationship, Deborah might not suspect anything.
As yet, we don't know if Raven will find out anything worth passing on. We can only hope.
That's the truth. That's the truth. Oh, by the way, have either one of you heard from Miles in the past day or so?
No, why?
Well, He had 2 forensic assignments, and he didn't show up for either one. Now, I was starting to worry that maybe this Nora Fulton nonsense was starting to affect him. Well, if he calls you, please have him call me.
Of course.
Yes, we'll do that.
So long.
Bye-bye.
Oh, Dr. Kavanaugh. That was the most awful thing I've ever seen. You and Mr. Cooper fighting like that.
Not my finest hour, was it? Or his?
Are you sure you're not hurt?
Yeah, I'm fine. Don't make any fuss about it.
You know, I was so frightened. I didn't know what to do to stop it.
Forget about it. Forget about it.
Don't you think we ought to call the police?
Did you hear what I said? I want you to forget about it, please.
Dr. Kavanaugh's office.
Yes, may I speak with Dr. Kavanaugh? This is his wife.
Yes, he's right here, Mrs. Kavanaugh.
Nicole?
Miles, I got your message. What's wrong?
It's nothing terrible, just a rather nasty run-in with a man named Everett Cooper who accused me of, how should I say, harsh treatment of his wife.
What do you mean, nasty run-in?
I'm ashamed to admit it, we had a little bit of a fight.
You what? Why?
I just told you, he accused me of mistreating his wife.
By mistreating, do you mean...
Yeah.
Oh, Miles, that is awful. I think you should prefer charges.
Oh, I can't do that. That'd be the worst thing possible.
I guess you're right. I just wasn't thinking. Everett Cooper. Why is that name so familiar? Just a minute. Geraldine?
Yes, Jim.
Does the name Everett Cooper ring a bell with you?
Oh, yes. He was in the news last week. It was the announcement of his new appointment as supervisor of Monticello County Medical Board.
Every time I breathe, I thank Oster. My new Oster electronic air cleaner electronically helps clean the air in my home with an exclusive triple cleaning system. 1 filter for larger dust particles, an electrostatic precipitator for particles you can't even see, and a filter to help absorb and destroy odors. We all get great results with Oster, and I do a lot less dusting.
The Oster electronic air cleaner from the makers of the famous Osterizer blender.
Comtrex relieves the whole cold.
Tristan didn't relieve my cough.
But Comtrex relieves the whole cold.
Contact didn't do anything for my aches, pains, and fever.
But Comtrex relieves the whole cold.
Bear didn't help my nasal congestion, runny nose, or coughing.
But Comtrex relieves the whole cold. That means Comtrex works on nasal and sinus congestion, runny nose, sneezing, coughing, watery eyes, sore throat, nasal drip, headache, fever, pain, every major cold symptom. Comtrex, it relieves the whole cold.
Tonight, Jake is challenged to a Western-style shootout by a gunslinging Japanese soldier on the Gold Monkey. Then Colt could wind up flat on his back when he tangles with the women's roller derby team on the Fall Guy. After Alexis puts Crystal and Mark on a collision course. And there's a new woman in town, fresh from Paris, on Dynasty.
Tonight on ABC's World News Tonight, Imperial, Missouri. It may be America's new love canal.
Nobody, I don't care who they are, should have to live through this.
The dangers were known. Why didn't the EPA warn residents? ABC News, uniquely qualified to bring you the world.
Tomorrow on Good Morning New York, Louise Schaefer of Ryan's Hope will join me as co-host. We'll welcome Rip Taylor, have a debate on baldness, and learn about choosing a pet for the holidays.
Coming up on the 5 o'clock Eyewitness News, 2 men are threatening to blow up the Washington Monument. They claim to have a half-ton of explosives in a truck parked at the base of the monument. We'll have the latest on the standoff, now 4 hours old, and we'll have this.
Somebody is leaving Broadway. I'm Mark Haynes. I'll have that story.
Yoko Ono on the anniversary of John Lennon's death, and I'll report on a gentleman with a special talent at 5.
Oh, Hungry Harry again.
Morning, neighbors. Oh, Thomas's instead of bargain muffins. Sue and I watch every penny.
Well, we tried bargain muffins, but nothing tastes like Thomas's.
For us, there is no other English muffin.
Yeah?
Oh, just look at those nooks and crannies.
Oh, yeah.
So crisp and crunchy.
And
that original Thomas's taste. No other English muffin can copy it.
Right, neighbors. For us, there is no other English muffin.
Help yourself, Harry.
The Richard Simmons Show tomorrow morning at 9.